dudettes. I'm back. I don't even really know what to say except that I'm back and it's good to see you. And I thought I'd just give you a little update on everything from the time that I last posted, which was, I think, February, up until now, because I've been MIA thanks to quarantine and just other things in life. Just like everybody else, quarantine affected me and my family pretty drastically in a lot of ways. And when it hit, I just kind of sunk into the ground. It was kind of like this sensation of not knowing what's happening, and it was that I guess that unknown that made me really uncomfortable. And anytime I feel that like uncomfortableness, I run to music. And so rather than continue producing content, which I had this like list put out of all these different videos that I hope to do, I just started making music and I didn't look back. And so for a month and a half of quarantine while we were locked down here in Kentucky, I literally just made music. I worked on a couple different side projects. That was my quarantine. I really took up two side projects with the music. One of them was this like emo Jimmy Eat World kind of like early 2000s sound with a little punk influence. I worked on that a lot and spent most of my days working on those projects. But then I got back into EDM music. Back in college, I was a big like producer of just dance music, and I would sell beats and stuff like that to people. And I love like deep house and like techno, all those things. So I just started digging into that more and kind of rekindled a love for that art form of like analog drum machines and synthesizers and weird bleeps and bloops and just these different sounds that all go with that electronic dance genre. And it was really a good place for me to be, because music is a huge escape for me when I'm dealing with stresses. And when the quarantine and all that stuff started like really piling up, I dealt with anxiety on a level that I'd never experienced before. Like anxiety to the point that I felt it in my chest. I felt like there was a weight on me all the time, and I'd never really experienced those. I've had some issues with maybe stress and anxiety in the past, and meditation has helped that tremendously. Prayer has helped that tremendously. But this was such a profound, deep, almost darkness that I sunk into. You know, I mean, with those things come depression, because you don't really understand what's going on. And that's the ultimate part of the human experience, is not knowing what's coming up in the next day. And the reason that that's part of the human experience is that animals, they don't think about that. As far as we know, they don't think about and make plans for later down the road. But as humans, we think about what's coming up next. We await certain days, or we have plans that we build up, and if they're not fulfilled, then we're bummed about it. But we never really know. And that is part of being a human being, is fearing that unknown and dealing with not knowing what's coming up next. And that kind of struck me over the course of quarantine, is like, this is what everybody's dealing with. I can't just say this is on me, because everybody is dealing with this in some way or another. You know, quarantine hit everybody, like across the world, right? And some people are still in it. And those people are dealing with the stresses, the anxieties, the unknowns, the fears, the unemployment, the bills still coming in. All those things we take in, we internalize, and if we're not careful, then they build up and they cause us to have anxiety attacks or sickness, or just lash out, one to another, and it's unhealthy. But that's where I was, and music allows me to sort of use up those feelings, those anxieties, those things that are kind of boiling up inside of me and that I'm dealing with. And it allows me just to put them out, maybe on a really hard techno track, or a sad song, or just whatever it is. I'm able to at least get those things out. As far as the channel goes, quarantine also gave me a lot of time to think about the channel. And it's difficult to say. it's difficult to say this, but in a lot of ways, I feel like this channel has really failed. And I feel like it's my fault. Possibly because I didn't do the research that I should have. I probably didn't stick to a specific niche like I should have. I didn't follow through with the thumbnails like I should have. I didn't really dig into the tags as well as I could have. For me, the daily vlogs last year was a challenge to see whether I would be able to create for a full year. And in doing that, I thought I would feel more successful in that. And success is a funny thing because it's based on a person's perspective at that moment in life, right? It's not like success changes as we go. An 80-year-old success is going to be way different than a 22-year-old content creator's success or a 35-year-old filmmaker's success, right? Those are different things because we all have different goals that we sort of aspire towards at different ages, at different points in life. But for me, you know, the views weren't there, and YouTube is this weird place where when we start out, we say, don't worry about the views, don't worry about the numbers. But the fact of the matter is that is pushed on us from day one. Whether we like it or not, there's a view counter, there's a subscription counter, there's all these things, and we see all these other people growing and exploding. I think I would be remiss to say that I didn't count on a better view count, a better number of views. And some of that, again, I feel like it's my fault because I didn't do probably the necessary research needed. But I also think that, I've told others this, that I think this channel is cursed. And just long story short, just long story short, when I first started this channel, I entered the Moment Invitational. I went through and commented on everybody else's videos at that time, just trying to encourage people because I was like, oh, this is awesome. I just feel like this is a really cool thing to be a part of. And YouTube canceled this channel, like just shut it down because it was violating terms of service because I was posting too much and too many of the same things. So to them, it looked like spam. I appealed a couple times and finally got it back. But ever since then, it's just like the channel has not, I don't know, it's just like it doesn't get pushed as well as some other channels or something. I don't know, it could just be all me. Maybe that sounds like a cop-out, and I hope that's not. With the future of this channel in mind, I do still plan on making updates. And I've really been tempted to go back to vlogging, maybe even just weekly or something. I don't know, I really miss vlogging. I miss that content style. But I also really miss the mini docs. I am, however, going to be more active on here again, and I'm also starting a new channel, and it's going to be just solely based on like electronic dance music production and just gear, you know, using the gear, not buying it, but just like tricks and tips and all that. So if you're interested in that, or if you just like watching people make music, I'd love for you to stop on over. It'd be super rad just to hang out. And that's all I can ever ask, is that somebody stops in and hangs out. Like, that's it. I'm back. It's been a long time, guys. It's been a long time. And it's almost awkward making this because I feel like I ghosted a bunch of friends and I'm just trying to apologize for it. So I'm sorry, but thank you for sticking with me. Thank you so much for all of the great comments that you've left in the past and just the encouragement and just stopping in and saying hi. Thank you. It's awesome. It's way more than I could ever ask for. And in that sense, this channel has been very successful. So I will see you, I'll probably see you next week. Actually, today's Sunday. I might see you this week. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll come up with something. Thanks for watching.